Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B Dub on another edition of B Dub's Thoughts. And in this episode, we're going to review WrestleMania 14, the start of the Attitude Era. This was different. This is the first year where they went away with the classic WrestleMania logo as they slowly but surely was getting rid of it. Unfortunately, this where they had the red and black theme, and I thought it was a good WrestleMania. Definitely a great comeback after WrestleMania 13, which I was not that much of a fan of. They had Taka Michinoku and Aguila for the light heavyweight championship. Aguila would later on become S.A. Rios, which a lot of people did not know. Good match. It would have been if they would have went with the cruiserweight division, put a lot of heart into it as WCW did. They would have really been able to compete using guys like these two. After that was an interview with Jennifer Flowers and The Rock. Rock who would fight Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental Championship later on, who matched in disqualification. The Rock was. This is where you can see that his career was heading in the right direction. Rocky Maivia character was mediocre, but the character, him being The Rock, allowed him to really be who he was and not trying to be a combination of his father and his grandfather. So I thought this was a good match. A good interview, actually. Triple H and Owen for the European Championship, especially with Sergeant Slaughter handcuffed to China. Thought it was very creative the way he ended it. She still got to interfere in the match and allowed Triple H to win the match, but nonetheless, the two had a great match. This is the first where Sable and Mark Merrow would take on Luna and Goldust, and this is where you see Sable really begin her in-ring career. So I thought this was a good match. This is when she was the more favorable face as opposed to the face that was cocky and rude as she would become next year. Um, who can ever forget the dumpster match? Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. Chainsaw Charlie, we all know, was Terry Funk against the New Age Outlaws. And seeing this match was just absolutely classic. There's nothing else to say about it. It was a classic match, a good hardcore match. And like I said, this is where you knew the direction in which wrestling was going. Kane and the Undertaker, a wonderful match. Before this is when Pete Rose comes out and he talks bad about the city of Boston and goes, everybody knows the story with him. And then he's tombstoned by Kane and the crowd goes happy. But Kane and Undertaker, Undertaker didn't want to wrestle Kane prior to the match, but because he made a promise to his parents, but nonetheless he did. And it took 3 tombstones, but finally the Undertaker would win the match. So this was a good match. I actually like his entrance where he came out with the Druids, and I like his attire, the all black attire. So, and then the WWE Championship match, Shawn Michaels taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Michaels, I've heard some interviews. He indicated his back was hurting. He just wanted to get through the night. It was pure adrenaline. But in the end, Shawn Michaels would get knocked out by Mike Tyson. Big WrestleMania moment. And Stone Cold would go ahead and win his first WWF Championship. So, thought this was a good match. Thank you for joining this episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub, edition of B-Dub's Thoughts. Make sure you tune in to the next episode that I go over WrestleMania 15.